So today what we will do is whenever if you are logging to the ServiceNow instance, so what happened we are entering the our username and password and credentials as a manually. So manually is nothing but if it is a one thing we can, that means every time, for example, if you want to log into ServiceNow developer, we need to manually add the credentials. Or if you want to log into our instance, we need to log into one. Or if you want to, we can vary with community, we need to log in credentials like that one. So right now, but if you click on a single click, for example, if you click on this community, it will automatically redirect to the community field. That means, so that means, so it will automatically redirect to this community field. So this one, or if you click on this, it will go here. Or if you go to the learn, if you go to the learning paths, it will automatically go here. And if you go to the any other thing, for example, certifications, it will go to the different page. How this was has configured, it will automatically log into the different. Right now it is not there, but if you want, you can do. See this developer login only, we login to go to the community, and it will went for the different steps for the same thing here. So for this, what we can do it is in the system. In the system, that means a one login will be used for the multiple things. In the when come to their company, if an employee is logged it, so what he will do it is he has to log into the leave portal, he has to log into the some HR portal, he has to log into the learning portal. Like there are any company has a multiple applications, so every time if the user is logging to the one, so what happened, it will ready, it will waste the manual time. Instead of that one, if you have configured a SSO, that is single sign on, if you join in a single sign on one application, it will be automatically redirect to the all the applications when you open it. That means no need to log in. That we will call it as a SSO for the same thing. So if I open this SSO, so today we will see how we can configure a SSO for the same thing. If it is a SSO, what we have to do it is first there is a one login. In that SSO login page, we have to uh, configure the all the instances. So in the login, but we right now we don't have that one login account. So what happened, so what we have to do it is we just log into the account. In that one, we can add the our ServiceNow instance details. So generally this will be automatically uh, what we can say, whenever if you log into the ServiceNow instance, this will be automatically logging by the that one login or something on one, whether it should be we are using Azure SSO or Okta SSO or some any other SSO LDAP we are using. So what happened, the same team they can configure from their end, and only one thing we have to do it is from our end. uh, uh, what what we have to do it is so what we have to do is only one thing, we need to create one service account, and we have to provide the admin details to the them. So that is the only one thing uh, for the same thing here. So what we are doing here is, so whenever, so only we have to create admin account, we have to provide the admin access to them, and that is a service account we need to share with the SSO team. so that they can configure from there, because since we are not having this SSO, so only in the ServiceNow side what we have to do it is we need to configure a identity provider. If you open SSO, before that we just configure the SSO properties. See, enable external authentication is nothing but if you want to configure any external authentication, that means you want to do it for any other thing, we have to do for the same thing here. And next one, HTTP header name. So D user, that means these are the what are the authentication user. We can write this one. Right now we don't require this one. And service no field matching against the incoming header. That means whatever the header which we are configuring, that what is the name, username. Username is a unique field. So on which whenever if your user is requested, depending upon the which field, we need to validate the same thing. This is the most important thing, whether it should be email account, whether it should be a single user id, it should be a name, whatever we are required. But 99% mostly we can use a user id, since user id is a unique for each and everything. Now what we have to do is this the password, how it is encrypted, it will show it, but we it will password will not show you, don't worry. The next one, what we have to do it is, so the next one what we have to do it is, so these are the logout pages. What is the, if you log out, so what is the user has to wait. Just give it 1 minute, I'm getting a call. Now what we have to do it is, so we need to configure whenever if the is logged in, so which page we need to log it. So this is the logout has successful. uh, So what is a page? That means URL to redirect adapting a non-public page, that is a to view incident. So our SSO client is not paid. Typically the customer is logged in. That means whenever the user has a access, he doesn't have the same thing. How we can do the same thing. This is a logout. Which page we need to redirect it? Or if a yes, URL to redirect user after a failed SSO attempt. That means the SSO login is VS failed. So what is the thing we have to configure it? We can do it. And if the user is logged out, so what is the page we can do it? And also when you require for the same thing, whatever we can create it a what we can say, whenever if you created a something, so what we have to do it is external logout, so which we can for the same thing here. So this is the, I'm sorry, this is the basic properties which you have to configure it. Now next one is we need to configure the identity providers. I think this plugin is not activated. Let me open the document. This is the one. Okay, authentication, fine. This is the authentication. So in that authentication, what we have to do? Go to the other single sign on. I think they have not given any single sign on. That's okay. So we can use multi-factor criteria, which will be used to role-based multi-factor. If you want to go to the browser, I think the fingerprint we don't require multi-factor. The properties which we are configuring. I think we don't have plugin, so we just install that plugin. Let's see how it will execute. I don't think we have plugin. This is very rare I'm seeing. See multiple product singles are enhanced view. So for example, if you want to install it, we just go here, just click on it, and we can install the. I don't know why it has to open the. Might be there is some instance issue. So if you want to, we can activate it. I'm just going to activate. And for this one, there's two more things. I'm just going to plugin activation. Let's see how to looks on. So basically this plugin activation will take a couple of minutes. So whether it should be a small thing or it should be a small big thing, so it will take a lot of time to activate, because depending upon the plugin size, if it is small plugin, it will immediately it will activate it. So if it is a big plugin, so it will be executed for the same thing here. So wait for a couple of minutes. So this plugin is will be activated. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. So what it will activated. So we can wait. It will be. So we are just activating this one, multi-factor authentication. So this is the one. And if you go to the plugins, what is this plugin? What is the plugins? This plugins we'll see. Later I can share this document to you. That's not a problem. So, but this has to execute. But user, let me wait. Yeah. See, there are few plugins is not coming as a free. Why? Because this service now has created a model that is a completely and a pay as you can, yeah, pay for a service. If it is CSM product, you have to purchase the CSM license. If it is a Another one, whatever ID. Why it is not showing? I think it might be issue with the instance. So let me open another instance. Let's try this one. So let me log into the instance. So if you want to one, we can configure the identity providers. So identity providers from here we have already taken. So what is the default one? Right now it doesn't default one. For example, I give as uh, a SAML update as a default one. So whatever the things we have configured, we can do it. That means what is the name we can give it. If you want, you can mark as a default, and identity provider URL. What are the URL? It will be given by the identity, the SSO team, and identity provider authentication requires also these URLs they will give it, and this is the one they can give it. And ServiceNow homepage. What is our ServiceNow instance? That means whenever the login user is logged in, what is the page we need to configure the same thing for it. This is the uh, ServiceNow homepage for the same thing here. What is the one? And entity user or issuer. That means, and what is the instance URL we have to provide it, and authentication URL, and what is the instance URL we can give it, and name of the ID policy. This also mostly we can give you by the their team. Their team is nothing but the SSO team. They can provide you that mean, and also whenever if the user is logged out, so what is the page we need to log it, this is the one. And failed request, if that SSO is failed it, so what is the one we can do it. Generally we can go the SSO or ping SSO. So those are the two we can use it, Octa, ping, or Azure. These are the SSOs we can use for the same thing. Next one, sign in or encryption key alias, whatever we can give it. These two also it can be configured by the the SSO team. And next one, these are all they can provide all this one. Next, user provisioning. User provisioning, auto provisioning is nothing but it will be automatically will provision, or else, or if you want to update any other different scenario, we can give it. By default, auto provisioning we can mark as a false. And advanced, the user field. That means what was the field we need to table user match. We have to give it here. We have given as a email, so that what it will happen is the email will be the same thing for it. It will be used for the same thing. And what is the attribute? So what are the attribute we can give it? And create a authentication class attribute. That means how we can give it. And these are all mostly this data will be given by the SSO team. We no need to worry about this one. So if you want to, we can configure this data. They can provide you the complete information for the SSO here. Now, what we have to do it here is the thing which will be what we can say, uh, what we can say. I'm sorry. If you have configured, these are all details. So we just go to the save, and if you want to make a activate, just click on activate, and I don't think it will activate. You must be connection to IDB. So if you click on test connection, since we don't have any, see, but by think but SSO we don't have any username, or what you can say, we don't have any login credentials. so that it will not be, we cannot do for a something one. So that's we cannot do. So we can mark this one. And X509 is a certificate which will provide the security for the same thing. That means X509 is nothing but which will be a secure certificate, will be used for the security purpose. Since we are in the internet, and also uh, so whenever we are connecting, since we are connecting a third party tool or something for the one, so we have to use the X509 certification. Is typically used to manage the identity and security in a computer network over the internet. That means two, we can use the protocols for the same thing here. So basically this also, that will be given by the admin team. Admin team, that means the Azure team or AD team, they can provide us the one, so we no need to worry about the same thing. So which means whatever we have done. So here we can upload that certificate, mostly they can give it, and we can upload the same thing in XML format, which will, and it will expire, and when it will be going to expire, that is the most important thing. If that is our expired, we will get some security issues. So mostly whenever if it is expiring, what it happened is it will send an email to the user. If you want to, we can see expiry notification. If you click on here, to whom we have to configure, and before the how many days we need to send an email. That is the basic things how we can say for the same thing. Basically this XM509 certificate will be given by the activity team, so we no need to worry about this one. This is the advantage, this is the process how we can use for the identity provider for the same thing, for the SSO. Maybe this, I think you know, this is a one time setup. I can show you this one. What I can say, I can share this document later, so you can what you called, you can practice the same thing. Now, the next thing, why? What is Octa? Octa also the same thing. So we have to activate the Octa plugin, and what we can say it in the Octa also. Oh my God, it's not open. So this is the configuration which we have to do it from the their end. So these plugins we have activated, and in the Okta website we have to log it, but right now we don't have Okta account, so we cannot do for it one. So this is the Okta, and in that one where we can provide our service no instance details. Basic typically this will be configured from their end, so we no need to do from any other from our end, and from our end. So we can go to the identity provider, click on new, create a XML. We can add the same thing on XML data. So this is the basically whatever we have configured. So here this will be from there. So if you want to do any other thing, the identity provider is should be, you have to know it the same thing. The identity provider import, if you want to import IDP metadata, if you want to one, you just create, or if you in XML, we can enter the XML whatever we want, we can do it. Right now we don't have anything we can add, but since we need to authenticate with the third party, so we can configure the same thing here. So this is the one. If you want to configure SSO, the authentication provider is a very important for the same thing. That is the how we can configure the authentication for the main purpose of this SSO, one login for the multiple users. If you log in as a one thing, we can use a multiple things, we can configure the same thing here. So that is the basic thing how we can configure the SSO, SSO for the same thing here. So this is a one time setup, we no need to worry about it. If you have set up one time, so 99% you will not get issue, only the issue will come X509 certificate will be expired. That is the only one issue. Mostly will face it. That is also if you set up one time, you no need to worry about the next 3 to 4 years. So this is the basic thing. I hope you got it or any confusion. Sorry, no, no. Whenever, see, for example, see if you open this one, we have login to developer at ServiceNow portal. Okay. If I click on here, it will go to the community. Automatically, it will community. It will automatically login. Which is some user is order. This is the what we can say. Mm, this is the user for the one. So one thing, if you open any blocks, ServiceNow blocks, any developer blocks, it will automatically log in sometimes. But it right now it was automatically here it was automatically logged in. See here, there is a automatic login. So how it was logged in? So depending upon the one thing, how we can log for the same thing here. So that means one login will be available for the multiple applications. That is a SSO. Mostly this will we mostly when you are implementing a project, it's a one-time setup. It's not a multiple time setup. If you have set up one time, sorry, yes, this SSO will always using for the login purpose. Single sign on. No, that's a integration, right? That's I can cover the next topic. Okay, fine. So you got it right. But you just take it, I can share the document. So you no need to just understand the how the process is there. Okay, and I will share you this document. Okay. So I'm just closing the session. Tomorrow we don't have. Monday I will show you the next.